Hello, thank you so much for dropping by Merlin's Mountain today. I am Andy. I'm having a great day and I really hope you are too. If not, hopefully you will be having a better day after we do this reading, which we're about to go into using the Muse Tarot. There it is, absolutely beautiful deck. I'm loving working with this deck, most definitely. I picked it up sometime in the summer. It was like June or July, not that long ago. And I'm still kind of getting used to using it, but it's absolutely beautiful. We are going to do a 5-card pick a card in this video. And we're also going to have an angel card from Ask an Angel, just to go with every card that we bring out. But let's get to it. Let us get stuck in. By the way, just while I'm shuffling, if you like this kind of thing, why not hit the subscribe button? You couldn't do a better thing, really. That's what I reckon anyway. And of course, I'm told if you hit the subscribe button, wonderful things will happen. You know, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. More videos coming all the time. And to my regular friends and viewers, I'm so sorry. I'm not putting many videos out at the moment, but crazy times, you know, crazy times, as I'm sure you're probably having crazy times in your part of the world as well, wherever you are. And I'm gathering up logs and firewood and stuff for winter. I'm also doing things like just getting the harvest in, I suppose. I just saw a post. It's Mabon today. It was yesterday, the 21st of September. Mabon, the great pagan festival. And someone put on my Facebook page something that said, now is the time to reap what you've sown. And they spelled it with a letter E, which is, you know, like things you've sown with a needle and thread. So I don't know, time to reap my old jeans, I guess. But no, definitely time to reap what you've sown. And you know, the nights are getting longer. There's more darkness in the sky, most definitely. But there are consolations. For example, I just love shortwave radio, and that is getting clearer and clearer to listen to all the time. But hey, let's get started, right? Let's actually no, let's take all 5 off first, and then you can actually pick the one you're drawn to. Let's put those out of the way there. Okay. So we have, come here, Butterfingers. Right, we've got 5 cards here from the Muse Tarot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you choose whichever one of those you're drawn to, friends. Okay, trust your inner psychic. You will find the right one, absolutely for sure. And let us kick off then with indeed card number 1. It's this one. It is the Knight of Voices. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing about what suit the voices are. The Knight of Swords. The voices are the swords in this deck. So we have the Knight of Swords. Fairly swift action, actually. The swords are all about thinking things through. Usually some kind of mental turmoil associated with this. And I guess that's going on in your life if you drew this card at this moment. But the good news with the Knight of Swords is there's some kind of swiftness. There's a push coming in. Something coming in to help you change your mind and actually make some progress that way. Swords, of course, as well as being that mental turmoil thing, it relates strongly to the air signs, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius in astrology. And astrology is nuts at the moment. This is I think this is day 13 of Mercury Retrograde. So a bit over halfway through this Mercury Retrograde. There's another one in December, but that's life. Some years we get 3, some years we get 4. That's the nature of it. All the planets go retrograde, by the way, but Mercury, being one of our closest neighbours in the sky, really, you know, it causes lots of effect when it goes retrograde. So look at this. We've got this kind of moon-like, sun-like image. I'm not kind of sure exactly which one it's supposed to be here. But then that's the nature of the fall, of the autumn, isn't it? The leaves start coming down and it's hard to tell whether it is day or night. And that's another sort of aspect of what is almost certainly going on if you're going through that mental turmoil. Is it day? Is it night? Is it this? Is it that? Which way to go? Well, the Knight of Swords, excuse me, the Knight of Swords comes in with some thrusting energy to help you move forward. And Very often with the swords, you know, there isn't going to be any new information. I think there will be because of the Knight of Swords, but basically it's time to start moving. It's time to just get things done. Because sometimes you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Not that you're going to be damned in any sense, but, you know, you might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. You might as well get stuck in and start making things happen. Angel card for you. And this is from Ask an Angel by Tony Carmine Salerno, wonderful psychic artist working out of Blue Angel Galleries in Australia. We've got the yin yang loud and proud here in the bottom corner, and it's all about balance. And the angel is Dokiel. The angel is Dokiel. So this angel is got something going on relevant for you at this time. We all have angels around us. They're not all ones with names. They're not all, you know, ones from the old Bible stories or the Jewish tradition, or, you know, ones we can actually identify. But they are our angels. All you've got to do is ask. And the energy of Dokiel is close in around you if you picked card number 1. So here she is, looking very kind of serene, you know, and this contrasts quite strongly with the energy of the Knight of Swords, which is anything but serene. All that thinking going on, all that action coming up. The way to handle it is just like focus on this lady here in this card and just think, yeah, you know, she's got her eyes wide open. She can see what's going on. She knows what's what. And she is keeping balanced, basically. That's what it's all about, keeping that sense of balance. And that is what is eventually, ultimately, going to make it all good, going to make it all right in the end. So, card number 2. Did you pick card number 2, friends? By the way, do leave me a comment. Let me know which cards you picked. It's always good. Helps our spirit guides get like zeroed in, dialed in to one another, which is no bad thing. Card number 2, the 10 of Voices. Wow, so is that, yeah, it's the 10. So we got another sword card, 10 of Swords. Now this card is slightly less good news than the first card, but at the same time, these people are seriously rising above it. We've got these 10 points shoving themselves down. But you know, the thing about the point of a sword or the point of an arrow or the point of anything that's pointed is that the energy gathers up at the tip of a point. You know, if you like, say you leave a sewing needle near the fire and it gets warm, the point of that will be a little bit hotter than anything else, because just one of the laws of the universe, energy gathers at a point. So when we go through this 10 of Swords experience, the energy is very, very strong. And what we need to do is actually ask the angels to transmute that energy, to turn it into something more positive. It's often more than we can do ourselves, but if we trust the angels, if we go with the flow in terms of the angelic energy, we can actually get there. Let me take a closer look at this, make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm usually missing something. Yeah, here she is though. She's actually held up by the points of the swords in this card. And that is just the thing. You know, all these difficult decisions, all these tough times, all this craziness in the world we live in at the moment is actually, it's kind of pushing things. And, you know, we can't just leave things like they are. We have to actually do something about it. And that is the supporting factor of it. It's one of those things where, okay, tomorrow is grim, but the next day is the first day of the rest of your life, if you will. I'm sort of mixing metaphors there, which is one of my favourite things to do, but I guess you know what I mean. So we had a good shuffle of the angel cards. Ah, right, okay. This is actually not all that different. This is the angel card to go with that card. That's card number 2. This is Cassiel, and it says stillness. Can you see that? If I bring it up to the camera, it says stillness. And there she is. Actually, really quite a lot like this lady. Except this lady's lying down amidst all the swords and all the kind of crazy dilemmas and whatever might be going wrong. And whatever might be being taken away. You know, a lot of us are going through times where things are taken away from us. But Cassiel, no, wrong one. Sorry, the camera flips things and I do get ever so confused at the best of times, never mind with cameras. Cassiel is just hanging out there and she's just kind of oblivious to what's going on. You know, she's sort of folded up in that fetal position, almost back to the womb energy with this card. But Cassiel, she is, and, you know, stillness is what she is all about. and those beautiful green wings. Well, green is a very healing colour, so I'm going to say there's some healing coming in for you at this point, which is rather nice because the Ten of Swords it's not the happiest of cards, but wherever there's unhappiness, wherever there's a problem, goodness is drawn in. You know, it's like it's raining outside now. The result of that will be drawing some dry weather behind it. There's just no such thing as a completely empty vacuum in nature. Just the kind of vacuum that pulls things along, draws things along, and keeps the conveyor belt turning. And that, my friends, is really where we want to be. So, did you pick card number 3, friends? Or did you actually pick all 5 of them? If you did, this is crucial because this is card number 3. This is the heart of the matter. And this is the Muse of Inspiration. Let me cheat again. I can never remember these things. Inspiration is wands. So we've gone from the swords energy of what the hell to do to the point where we're actually going to start thrusting forward and making things happen. Because the wands are all about getting things done. All about the fire signs like myself, Leo, Sagittarius, that's the one I am, and Aries. Those 3 signs are the fire signs, and there says fiery energy behind this. This is the fire of creativity, because it's not just about getting things done. When you start getting things done, you have to create, you have to think of, you know, what direction do you want things to go in, and you have to have that creative side to yourself at the forefront. It just draws it out of you. It really does. And here's this character walking down this kind of corridor between these incredible mystical images, which are, they're kind of difficult to interpret, you know, but that is the nature of the spiritual life, isn't it? We walk along this path, this spiritual path, surrounded by things that we may not understand with our everyday mind in this world, in this life. But in the eternal life, in the world from which we came and to which we will return and from which we will reincarnate again and again over time, we actually would understand things in that sense, you know. So these are images coming to us that we don't understand, a bit like crazy dreams that we don't understand. But, you know, they are absolutely for real, and sooner or later we get the point of it. I have some very creative dreams, actually. I have some really, really odd, weird, crazy dreams. And I have had some lately. It is Mercury Retrograde, and I am a crazy dreamer. There you go. I don't understand them, but, you know, I write them down, and one day they make sense sooner or later. It might be 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 years' time, but eventually I come to understand them. So what angel card do we have to go with the Muse of Inspiration, which is actually, it's like the king. The Muse card is like the king in the tarot. So that's the King of Wands we just had. Here we go. Archangel this time. Archangel Azrael. And it is surrender. You might as well just surrender to those crazy images that are going on around you. You might as well surrender to the fact that none of us really know exactly what's going on in the great, great scheme of things, in the way the Great Spirit actually organises our world and indeed the whole universe. But when things are crazy, we've got to remember we are actually part of a whole universe. So whatever goes on is something to do, not just with this earth, not just with all the craziness in the world at the moment, but with the balance of the universe. And the universe is always, always trying to balance itself. So we might as well just surrender to it. Really, when you think of it. Archangel Azrael, there we go. Okay, so this brings us, we're just past the midpoint of the reading now. Stick around, by the way. Look, my algorithm report thing on YouTube Studio tells me that most people only watch about half the videos. I know many of you watch a lot longer than that, but stick with it, right? There's always something interesting coming. There really is. 10 of emotions here. Okay, and this is equivalent to the Suit of Cups. I can actually remember this one, the Suit of Cups. So it's water sign energy. And it relates to the water signs Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. So any of those characters showing up in your life at the moment are going to be significant with this card. It is the number 10, so it's great roundedness. Essentially, it's the 10 of Cups. And this is a nice card because it steps on from the 9 of Cups, which is traditionally called the Wish card in the old traditions of, Romany fortune telling, and just the old traditions of the tarot. The 9 is Make-A-Wish. So 10 is just moving on a bit from that wish, and it's going to be emotional. And if you pick this card, I bet the emotions are flowing. But Just like I was talking about earlier with the energy of the universe, you kind of, keep the conveyor belt going. Water, like a flowing river, keeps its own sort of conveyor belt going. So keep on going with the flow. If things are very emotional, if things are very hard, if there's a lot of crying and tears going on at the moment, let them be healing tears, okay? Because when you go through all that, the answers are starting to come in, That's the truth of the matter. So 10 of emotions. And so what is the angel department going to send our way? It is prayer. Archangel Sandalphon. Sandalphon is incredibly helpful, can help with addictions. Actually, lots of things, but addictions is the one that springs to mind. And a lot of us are having to rethink. Maybe addictions is too strong a word, but the things we love to do every day, the things that are part of our lives all the time. Life is changing at the moment just because, the nature of money and the nature of the whole world is very transient. None of us really knows where we're going to be a year from now. But if we have to change, if we have to stop doing something we love to do, if we're not able, for example, if we're not able to travel around to see people we love, if we're not able to get the foods we want, the drinks we want, the holidays we want, what we've got to realise is those things are worldly wealth and they do pass, There's a great tradition in the Roman Catholic Church. Whenever there's a new pope consecrated, I should say, the Pope is carried through the streets on a big platform thing in a big posh chair, and a very poor monk will walk beside the Pope's chair with some pieces of rope, hemp rope, the old-fashioned kind of, not that kind of naughty hemp, but hemp rope basically. And every now and again along the way he will set fire to one of these pieces of rope, and it'll burn out, and he'll wave it at the Pope, and he'll say, "Holy Father, thus passes worldly wealth." If you've ever heard the expression "sic transit gloria mundi" and wondered what the hell it meant, that's what it means. Thus passes worldly wealth. Worldly wealth will pass, but it doesn't have to pass away. It changes, the nature of life changes. And if we can find the wealth in the small things, or just, the things we can rely on. Beautiful trees outside my house, they're going to still be here next year, they just will be. It's just too damp for a forest fire to take them all away, whatever happens. So there's that to look at, so all those addictions fall away. That's really what I'm driving at here. And Archangel Sandalphon is the guy to pray to actually get some help with that, okay? It's all about prayer. So pray earnestly for what you want, really and truly. And it must be abundantly clear to you guys that this isn't a Christian channel, and that's not the kind of prayer I'm talking about. But, praying from the heart for what you want. Goodness knows, you don't have to be a member of a church or something to do that. It's something we can all do. In fact, my biggest criticism of the church system of doing things, if I'm quite honest, is just that fact that you're made to feel that you're supposed to belong to it in some particular way. Frankly, who cares about all that? The important thing is your relationship with the divine friends. So we come to card number 5. If you picked all 5, this is your outcome card. If you just picked number 5, this is for you, and it is the Page of Materials. The Page of Pentacles, in other words. Well, I've remembered 2 of the suits. Pretty soon, I'll be able to stop looking at the cheaty book. Beautiful flowers all over this, and a floral dress here. Now, every psychic, every medium, every reader have our own guides who and you're drawn to us because of the energies that we're privileged to be able to channel. And so, my guides, whenever this card comes in, or whenever a card comes in, it's got roses on it, there's a link to the spirit realms here. So if you chose this card, there is with it just a little reminder that your loved ones in the heavenly realms are actually watching over you. And that is good to know in these crazy times, is it not? It's the Page, okay, so it's a useful kind of energy, and basically there is help here, but part of the help has to come from you. That's the nature of all the pages, really. It's a bit like fund matching, when a charity raises money and the bank or some big institution agrees to double whatever amount of money the charity raises. Fund matching. you know, and that's what goes on here with the page of materials, with all the pages, really. And the good news here is that, you know, it really is like fund matching, because this is pentacles, this is abundance. So more abundance is coming. Now that, friends, is very, very hard to believe in this crazy world. But believe me, everything passes, just like worldly wealth passes, as I said with the last card. Everything else to do with the world, everything worldly passes, and all these worries, all these concerns are nothing more than, you know, stuff that's going on in the world, stuff we can survive, because we may be in this world, friends, but we are not exactly of this world. We're of this world at the moment because we're being like tested in the furnace, in the crucible of this crazy existence. But we are eternal beings, you know, we really are eternal beings. We will have many more incarnations. We have had many incarnations already. Not all of them on this world, not all of them on this planet. But here we are in this world, on this planet at the moment. Angel card to go with the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Materials, is this one. It is Melchizedek, and it's colour healing. Law of Attraction is very closely associated with Melchizedek, by the way. So the earthiness of that last Pentacles card, which, by the way, is Earth signs Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, is very much complemented by the outer universe and everything the outer universe can actually do for us, and actually what it represents to us, what it means to us in our lives, what that divine assistance from the angels actually means, you know, at the bottom line, when we've actually assimilated it and we're actually working with that energy. Do that law of attraction things, friends. Remember, no matter how down you might get, no matter how miserable things might seem, the best way to attract a positive future is to try and take a positive mental attitude to what's actually going on in your life now. And just see the colours around you, you know. Tragedy is everywhere, but look, there's still beautiful colours. There is still beauty in life. And like that old song, which I think was by Björk, she believes in her beauty. Well, you've got to believe in your beauty, you know, your own beauty, and in the beauty of this world. I sometimes despair, you know, when I go on Facebook or Instagram, there's one of those posts saying, "You are beautiful," and I just don't feel beautiful, you know. I haven't shaved, I've got paint on my jumper, things are tatty, the house needs cleaning, all those, you know, I just don't feel beautiful. But the answer to all that, you know, slightly unpleasant stuff that goes on in life, it's just to remember that we are beautiful people, you know. We have a beautiful soul within us. We just have to release that. That's all we've got to do. So become aware, friends, of your own colours. If you picked card number 5, in fact, even if you didn't pick number 5, this is damn good advice. It really is. Okay, so on that one, friends, thank you so much for watching this video today. Please hit the subscribe. There will be more videos coming up. Pretty soon I'll have the harvest safely gathered in. All is safely gathered in, like the old words of the old hymn says. And I'll be ready to kind of rock and get some more live streams going. Don't miss the live streams. There's going to be many more of them. Got lots of plans for those. Maybe at different random times. I'm a bit like that at the moment, but we'll find a good time and we'll just go with that one, and we'll keep on doing it. The live streams are beautiful because on this channel, it's a small channel, but I'm very blessed by the fact that nearly everyone who watches the videos has got some healing skill or some psychic gift, or maybe all of it, you know, because it does all go together. We need to see that all the gifts as having different characteristics, because we're human beings and we need things in compartments, in little boxes, so we can understand them. But anyone with any kind of spiritual gift is basically a part of the wonderful universe of spiritual gifts, you know, and we have lots of those people who actually come onto the live streams. And all the time I'm doing live readings, and you can get a card, you can ask for a card, but all the time I'm doing that, other people in the chat are sending healing to each other and giving each other good advice. Very positive stuff. I love the live streams, like they've just kind of developed a life of their own. So hit the subscribe so you don't miss them. Please drop a like on this one if you've enjoyed it. Even if you haven't enjoyed it, go on, drop a like on it just to big up the spiritual stuff. Great things happen when you like. Great things happen when you subscribe. Leave me a comment in the journey and we'll share the journey. And I will see you again, friends, in a future video. Take excellent care of yourselves. Love and light to you. Blessings and peace.